She thinks losing you won't change her life. She believes you'll always be there, waiting for another chance. That's exactly why she walked away so easily. But today, you're going to learn how to make a woman deeply regret losing you, not by begging, chasing, or trying to make her jealous, but by becoming the kind of man she can never replace. The moment you raise your value, enforce your standards, and build a life that no longer revolves around her, everything changes. She will realize she didn't lose another guy. She lost the one man who was different. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes a woman regret her decision and why the strongest men never need to ask for another chance. Comment, "I reclaim my power." 1. Build a life she can't match. The biggest mistake you make after losing a woman is believing your answer is somewhere outside yourself. You start looking for the perfect message, the perfect explanation, or the perfect moment to change her mind. But none of those things increase your value. They only keep your attention fixed on someone who already made a decision. The moment you shift your focus back to yourself, everything begins to change. Your energy stops leaking into endless thoughts and starts building something real. Every hour you spend improving your health, learning new skills, growing your income, strengthening your discipline, and creating a meaningful life adds to the man you become. That is the difference between living for approval and living with purpose. A man who builds his life does not need to convince anyone of his worth, because his actions speak before he opens his mouth. When your days become full of progress, your confidence no longer depends on who texts you or who chooses you. You wake up with a mission that exists whether someone stays or leaves. That changes the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and the standards you accept from others. People notice when a man values his own time because he stops giving it away to anyone who doesn't value it in return. This is where your life begins to move in your favor. Instead of asking why she left, you ask what kind of man you are becoming. Instead of replaying old conversations, you create new opportunities. Instead of hoping someone recognizes your value, you become impossible to ignore because your life reflects discipline, consistency, and self-respect. Some women will notice that change, others will not. That is no longer your concern because your success is not built on their attention. It is built on your daily decisions. You stop measuring yourself by one relationship and start measuring yourself by the promises you keep to yourself. Every workout completed, every difficult conversation handled with composure, every financial goal reached, every habit improved, becomes another brick in a foundation nobody can take away. The man who builds himself is no longer controlled by uncertainty because he always has something meaningful to move toward. That is why your greatest response to disappointment is not proving someone wrong. It is proving yourself right. It is becoming the man you promised yourself you would become long before anyone entered your life. That transformation gives you something no relationship ever can. It gives you peace that comes from knowing your future is built by your choices, not by someone else's approval. If you're serious about becoming the man you promised yourself you would become, this is your moment to take the next step with the Stoic Relationship Blueprint course for men, created from more than 2,000 years of timeless wisdom and built by me and the Stoic Tribe team after working day and night to make it our most complete course ever, giving you a clear step-by-step blueprint to build unshakable confidence, master your emotions, set strong boundaries, develop lasting self-respect, and approach relationships with clarity instead of confusion, helping you avoid years of costly mistakes while giving you lifetime access to knowledge you can return to whenever life challenges you. And for a limited time, it's available at more than 30% off. But this special offer will end very soon, so don't miss this opportunity. Check out the link in the comments before it's gone. If you're ready to take control of your life instead of letting life control you, comment Blueprint Course. Join hundreds of men investing in themselves and secure your lifetime access today, because the man you become from applying these lessons will thank you for making this decision. 2. Make yourself hard to replace. Being hard to replace is not about pretending to be unavailable or acting cold. It is about becoming so grounded in your values that your presence leaves a lasting impression wherever you go. Too often you lower your standards because you fear losing someone, and in doing so, you slowly lose yourself. You accept behavior that conflicts with your values. You ignore your own needs. You convince yourself that if you give a little more, understand a little more, or wait a little longer, everything will change. But respect grows when your actions match your standards, not when your standards disappear. A man who knows his worth listens carefully, watches actions instead of promises, and refuses to build his future on uncertainty. He understands that trust grows through consistency and that healthy relationships require effort from both people. If someone repeatedly chooses distance, confusion, or disrespect, he does not spend months trying to decode every signal. He accepts reality and keeps moving forward because protecting his peace is more valuable than chasing answers that never come. This mindset changes every part of your life. Your friendships improve because you surround yourself with people who genuinely support your growth. Your work improves because your focus returns to your goals instead of constant distractions. Your confidence grows because it is built on achievement instead of validation. When you become this man, you naturally become more attractive, not because you are trying to impress anyone, but because you finally respect yourself enough to live according to your principles. That kind of confidence cannot be borrowed, and it cannot be faked. It is earned one disciplined choice at a time. The interesting part is that when you stop trying to prove your value, people begin recognizing it on their own. They notice your calm decisions, your reliability, your purpose, and your ability to walk away from situations that no longer serve your future. Whether someone regrets losing you becomes secondary, because your greatest victory is that you no longer lose yourself trying to keep someone else. You become the kind of man who enters every new chapter stronger than the last, carrying lessons instead of resentment, wisdom instead of desperation, and a quiet confidence that comes from knowing your life will continue to grow regardless of who decides to be part of it. 3. Never reward bad behavior. The moment you start rewarding disrespect with more attention, you teach people that your standards are negotiable, and that is where your confidence slowly disappears without you even noticing it, because every time she ignores your boundaries and you respond by trying harder, apologizing for things you never did, or convincing yourself that if you give a little more, she will finally appreciate you, you quietly tell yourself that keeping her is more important than respecting yourself. And that belief spreads into every area of your life until you begin accepting less than you deserve from friends, family, co-workers, and everyone around you. But everything changes the day you understand one simple truth: people continue the behavior that gets rewarded. So if she cancels plans without respect, disappears whenever it suits her, only reaches out when she wants attention, or keeps your life full of uncertainty while expecting you to remain available, your answer is not another conversation trying to explain why it hurts you. Your answer is changing what you are willing to accept, because words alone never create respect, your actions do. And a man who quietly walks away from behavior that goes against his values says more than 1,000 emotional speeches ever will. That doesn't mean becoming bitter, cold, or treating others badly. It means understanding that your time, your energy, your loyalty, and your peace are valuable resources that should never be handed to someone who treats them as ordinary. Because the truth is simple: when someone believes you will always stay no matter how they behave, they stop appreciating your presence. Certainty creates comfort, and comfort without respect often creates carelessness. That is why your standards protect your value, not because they force someone to change, but because they prevent you from abandoning yourself just to keep someone else comfortable. And this is where you begin seeing life differently, because you stop asking why she keeps crossing the line and start asking why you keep moving the line for her. That question changes everything, because it shifts your attention away from trying to control another person's choices and brings it back to the only thing you truly control: your own decisions, your own response, your own character. And once you understand that, you stop wasting precious months trying to decode mixed signals that only leave you confused. You stop searching for hidden meanings behind every delayed reply or every small sign of attention, because consistency becomes your standard instead of occasional effort. And when consistency disappears, you quietly step back instead of arguing, pleading, or chasing answers that never arrive. That level of discipline is difficult at first, because your emotions will tell you to hold on just a little longer, to wait for one more explanation, one more chance, one more promise that tomorrow will somehow be different. But your emotions are not always your best guide. Your principles are, and your principles remind you that a healthy relationship never requires you to sacrifice your dignity just to keep another person interested. They remind you that respect grows where standards exist, not where they disappear. And once you begin living by that truth, something remarkable happens inside you, because every decision to protect your peace strengthens your confidence. Every time you refuse to reward disrespect, you prove to yourself that your self-respect is real, not just words you repeat when life is easy, and that inner confidence cannot be taken away by anyone, because it no longer depends on someone choosing you. It depends on you choosing yourself every single day. That is the mindset that transforms your future, because you no longer build relationships from fear of losing someone. You build them from mutual respect, shared effort, honesty, and trust. And if those qualities are missing, you accept reality instead of fighting it, because accepting reality is not weakness, it is wisdom. It saves you from spending years trying to force something that no longer serves your life. And while others remain trapped in endless cycles of disappointment, hoping another conversation will magically fix what actions continue to break, you become the man who quietly protects his future by refusing to reward behavior that constantly drains his energy. And that decision reaches far beyond relationships, because it changes the way you negotiate in business, the way you choose your friends, the way you spend your time, and the way you carry yourself every single day. People begin treating you differently because they recognize that your standards are genuine. They see that your kindness is no longer confused with weakness, that your patience is no longer unlimited, and that your respect must be matched instead of simply expected. And perhaps the greatest lesson of all is this: your goal is never making her regret how she treated you. Your goal is becoming the kind of man who values himself so deeply that he never again trades his peace for temporary attention. Because once you reach that point, your confidence becomes steady, your purpose becomes clearer, your decisions become stronger, and your life begins moving in a direction that no longer depends on whether one woman recognizes your value, because you already recognize it yourself, and that changes everything. And if you're ready to stop repeating the same painful patterns and start making decisions with confidence instead of confusion, get the Stoic Relationship Blueprint ebook for men, packed with timeless principles that have helped strong men build discipline, self-respect, emotional control, and lasting confidence for generations. And now it's also available as an audiobook, so you can absorb these life-changing lessons while walking, jogging, driving, or training at the gym. This is not knowledge you borrow for a few days. It is yours for life, giving you lifetime access to guidance you can return to whenever life tests you, making it one of the smartest investments you will ever make in yourself. If you're serious about transforming your mindset and becoming the man who leads his life with purpose and conviction, check out the link in the description and get your copy today before another day passes living below your true potential. 4. Let her feel the consequences. One of the hardest lessons you will ever learn is that not every lesson needs your words, because life teaches people far better than long conversations ever will. And if she chooses to walk away from a man who treats her with honesty, loyalty, consistency, and respect, she also chooses everything that comes with losing access to that man. But the mistake you make is trying to protect her from the consequences of that choice by remaining available, answering every message immediately, offering emotional support whenever she reaches out, accepting friendship when you still want something deeper, or standing in the background hoping she eventually changes her mind. And without realizing it, you remove every consequence of her decision while carrying all the pain yourself, which leaves you exhausted, confused, and stuck in the same place month after month. But everything changes when you understand that your presence has value, your attention has value, your loyalty has value, and your time has value. So if she decides she no longer wants those things in her life, your responsibility is not convincing her she made a mistake. Your responsibility is respecting her decision enough to step back completely and continue building your own future. Because every choice carries a price. And if there is never a price for taking your loyalty for granted, there is never a reason for anyone to appreciate it. This is not about revenge, anger, or trying to punish her. It is about accepting reality without arguing against it. Because reality does not change simply because you wish it would. And once you stop fighting reality, your mind becomes clearer, your emotions become steadier, and your energy begins flowing toward your own life, instead of someone else's decisions. That is when your transformation truly begins, because you stop counting the days since she left and start counting the progress you make every week. You begin sleeping better because your mind is no longer trapped inside endless questions that have no useful answers. You become stronger because every challenge becomes another opportunity to build discipline instead of another excuse to remain stuck. And little by little, your confidence stops depending on whether she notices your absence, because you become genuinely proud of the man you are creating. And something interesting happens during this process. People begin noticing the difference without you trying to prove anything. Your conversations become calmer because you no longer seek approval. Your posture changes because your mind is no longer carrying the weight of constant uncertainty. Your work improves because your focus returns to your purpose, and your relationships become healthier. Because you stop accepting one-sided effort as something normal, you no longer confuse attention with commitment or words with genuine intention. You watch what people consistently do instead of becoming distracted by what they occasionally promise. And that one habit protects your peace more than almost anything else, because actions reveal priorities, far more clearly than explanations ever will. And if she truly values you, her effort will match her words over time. But if her actions continue creating confusion, distance, and inconsistency, you stop negotiating with reality and quietly accept what is standing in front of you, because acceptance is not surrender, it is clarity, and clarity gives you freedom. Freedom from overthinking every message, freedom from searching for hidden meanings that keep changing every week, freedom from waiting for someone else's decision before allowing yourself to move forward. And that freedom is priceless, because it returns your life to your own hands, where it always belongs. And once you understand this principle, you stop seeing yourself as someone who lost everything when a relationship ends. You begin seeing yourself as someone who gained a deeper understanding of what truly deserves your time and energy. Because every difficult experience teaches you something valuable, if you are willing to learn instead of remaining trapped inside bitterness. And that lesson is simple: never sacrifice your self-respect in exchange for temporary hope. Because hope without action from the other person becomes a chain that keeps you standing still while life continues moving ahead without you, and your future deserves more than standing still. Your future deserves a man who gets up every morning with purpose, who invests in his body, strengthens his character, expands his knowledge, protects his peace, and refuses to build his identity around whether one woman chooses to stay or leave. Because your identity is far greater than one chapter of your life, and the moment you truly understand that, your decisions become easier. You stop arguing with what cannot be controlled. You stop trying to rescue situations that require effort from both people, and you stop carrying responsibilities that were never yours to begin with. Instead, you carry yourself with quiet confidence, because you know your value does not disappear simply because someone failed to recognize it. Value remains valuable whether it is appreciated immediately or not. And that truth gives you incredible strength, because it reminds you that your job is not convincing someone to see your worth. Your job is living in a way that reflects it every single day. And if she eventually realizes what she walked away from, that realization belongs to her, not to you, because by then your attention is no longer fixed on the past. It is invested in the life you are creating, the goals you are achieving, the discipline you practice every morning, the relationships built on mutual respect, and the peace that comes from knowing you never abandoned yourself simply to remain part of someone else's story. And that is where your greatest victory begins, not when someone regrets losing you, but when you become so focused on living with purpose that your happiness, your confidence, and your direction are no longer controlled by another person's choices. Because that is the kind of strength that lasts, that is the kind of confidence nobody can take from you, and that is the life every man deserves to build. 5. Become the man she can't get back. The greatest transformation in your life begins the moment your goal stops being getting her back and starts becoming someone you are proud to see every single day. Because that decision changes the direction of everything you do. It changes how you spend your mornings, how you respond to disappointment, how you carry yourself when life becomes difficult, and how you measure your own worth. Because your worth is no longer tied to one woman's opinion or one relationship that did not last. It is built through the promises you keep to yourself every single day. And that is where lasting confidence comes from. Not from hearing compliments, not from temporary attention, but from knowing that even when life becomes uncomfortable, you continue moving forward with discipline and purpose, instead of allowing your emotions to make every decision for you. Because the man who depends on outside approval will always live with uncertainty, while the man who builds his character from within carries a quiet confidence that remains steady, regardless of who enters or leaves his life. And that confidence cannot be copied because it is earned through consistent action. Every early morning, every difficult workout, every hour invested in learning, every financial goal reached, every promise kept, when nobody is watching, becomes another reason to respect yourself. And that self-respect changes your relationships, because you no longer look for someone to complete you. You look for someone who adds value to a life that is already moving in the right direction, and that single shift protects you from settling for less than you deserve, because you stop accepting inconsistency simply because you fear being alone. You realize that being alone with purpose is far better than remaining in a relationship where your standards disappear, one compromise at a time, and as your standards become stronger, your decisions become simpler. You stop trying to explain your value to people who refuse to see it. You stop chasing conversations that lead nowhere. You stop investing endless energy into situations that repeatedly leave you confused, because clarity becomes more valuable than temporary comfort. And that clarity allows you to protect your peace without becoming bitter, because there is a huge difference between closing a chapter with resentment and closing it with wisdom. Resentment keeps your attention trapped in the past, while wisdom carries the lesson forward without carrying the burden. And that is exactly what strengthens your character, because every difficult experience becomes useful when you choose growth instead of self-pity. Every disappointment becomes another opportunity to develop patience, discipline, humility, and perspective, instead of allowing one chapter to define the rest of your story. And this is where your life truly changes, because your purpose grows larger than your relationships. Your health becomes a priority instead of an afterthought. Your work reflects your ambition. Your habits begin shaping your future, instead of your emotions shaping your habits. And people naturally notice the difference, because genuine confidence always reveals itself through consistent behavior rather than loud words. You become reliable because you rely on yourself first. You become calm because you no longer waste energy fighting things outside your control. You become respected because your actions consistently match your principles. And whether someone from your past notices those changes becomes less important with every passing day, because your attention is invested in building a future instead of reliving old memories. And that is what real freedom looks like. Waking up each morning with goals that excite you more than unanswered questions. Walking into every room without needing validation from strangers. Making decisions based on your values instead of your fears. And understanding that your peace is one of the most valuable things you own, which means you protect it carefully. Because once you learn to value your own time, your own energy, and your own character, other people either rise to meet your standards or quietly remove themselves from your life. And either outcome works in your favor, because your direction never changes. You continue growing, learning, improving, and becoming stronger through consistent effort. And if someone eventually realizes they underestimated your value, that realization belongs to them. Your responsibility is not waiting for that moment. Your responsibility is becoming the kind of man who keeps moving forward, regardless of whether it ever arrives. Because your greatest achievement is not making someone regret a decision. Your greatest achievement is building a life where your confidence, purpose, and happiness are no longer dependent on another person's choices. And when you reach that point, you discover something far more valuable than winning someone back. You discover complete ownership of your own life. And that is a victory that stays with you long after every disappointment has become nothing more than another lesson that helped shape the man you are today. Everything you've heard today only changes your life when you take action. And this is your opportunity to do exactly that. If you're ready to stop repeating the same mistakes and start building the confidence, discipline, and self-respect that no one can take away, get the Stoic Relationship Blueprint course while it's still available at more than 30% off before this limited time offer ends. And if you want a powerful resource, you can revisit anytime. Don't forget to grab the Stoic Relationship Blueprint ebook or the audiobook version so you can keep learning wherever you are. Months from now, you'll either be grateful you invested in yourself today or wishing you had started sooner. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Check out the links in the description. Take the first step toward becoming the man you're capable of being, and I'll see you inside.